Over half of Africa's countries are among the poorest in the world. The continent's economic success is lower than that of the other 6 continents around the world. Africa, on the other hand, is rapidly developing and has seen substantial economic improvement and development over the last decade. Many countries, however, demonstrate no economic growth, and even the better ones are not growing as much as countries would like. Economic insecurity, political instability, and civil wars inside these countries have left many Africans impoverished. Hello, and welcome to Hard Rock Media. In today's video, we will be talking about top 14 poorest countries in Africa in 2021. Before beginning, kindly like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell icon so that you do not miss the latest video updates. Let's get right to it. Number 14. Eritrea. Eritrea is a country in Northeast Africa on the Red Sea coast and is at number 14 on our list of poorest countries in Africa. It is bordered by Ethiopia, Sudan, and Djibouti. It has 3.4 million inhabitants and a per capita GDP of $642. Eritrea is one of the poorest countries on the planet. Poverty is widespread, and the severity of the war, combined with the impacts of drought, led approximately 1 million people to flee to neighboring Sudan, reducing the resident population to 3.5 million. In 2000, over half of these people suffered a significant humanitarian crisis as a result of their deplorable living conditions, which gave rise to outbreaks of diarrhea, malaria, and respiratory diseases. Number 13. Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is a country in Northwest Africa. In our ranking of poorest African countries, Guinea ranks number 13. The per capita GDP is $620. The population is over 2 million inhabitants. Guinea economy, Bissau's one of the world's poorest, is mostly focused on agriculture and fishing. Small amounts of sugar, palm seed, timber, fish, and meat are exported in the country. Rice is the principal food ingredient and the most significant crop. Number 12. Togo. Togo is a country that has been experiencing political and socio-economic challenges for many years in Western Africa. That is why Togo is listed as one of Africa's poorest countries. Togo has a GDP per capita of $578 with 8.1 million inhabitants. Also, Togo is one of the world's worst safe countries and unhealthy countries. Number 11. Guinea. Guinea is among the poorest countries due to the inherent economic instability and the military regimes, which can be regarded as one of the richest countries in the world in terms of natural resources with their gold, diamond, and boron mines. GDP per capita in Guinea is $508. There are 12.99 million inhabitants in Guinea. At first sight, it has a very bad picture of the country, yet its territory and its underground resources have incredible potential. In the country, where 13 to 15% of the gross domestic product is mining-based, there are gold, diamonds, bauxite, and iron, as well as a significant deposit of silver, granite, and manganese. Number 10. Gambia. In Africa, Gambia is one of the poorest states. With a population of 2.4 million people, Gambia has a GDP per capita of $473. Palm trees on the coast are regarded as beach decoration in the Gambia, a country relatively poor in nature. At an important level, aside from the unexplored forest regions, there is total poverty in terms of mines. Though wild animals do not exist, the river is full of crocodiles and hippopotamuses, and many monkeys reside inside. Liking the video so far? Then make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, as a little action from you can help our channel grow tremendously. Number 9. Liberia. Next comes Liberia on our list. Despite its very rich soil and land resources, Liberia is a poor country in West Africa, because it is deprived of education and the exploitation of the West. The current per capita GDP of Liberia is $455. In 2002, Liberia, a country with a major struggle between people and government, was governed by a dictatorial regime. Moreover, in 2014, the target country, which is roughly 5 million, suffered tremendously from the drop in commodity prices and the massive Ebola epidemic. Although there is currently some minor recovery, COVID-19 is certain to cast a long shadow over the future of the nation. Number 8. The Democratic Republic of Congo. In terms of natural resources, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is one of the richest countries in the world. However, in terms of economy, it is one of the poorest countries. It has a GDP of $444 per person. The country's population of 79 million and more than 60% population is poor. The most vulnerable country to malaria and yellow fever. The private sector's newly created country is the focal point of the corruption of jam traffic, scum and the poor. Number 7. Somalia. In Somalia, throughout the last 2 decades, there was no political stability. In the last decade, there was no state. In this connection, it is also vital to consider that the country that is currently facing hunger and famine in self-sufficient agricultural production up until about 20 years ago. It has an estimated population of about 16.7 million. It has a GDP of $434 per capita, with 71% of poor people. For years, Somalia has had a civil war. There is no end to the civil conflict in Somalia. There is no real government in the country. There's therefore no economy, there's no production. Number 6. Madagascar. Madagascar is the 4th largest island in the world, 400 kilometers off the coast of East Africa. This island comes at number 6 on our list of poorest African countries. The booming tourism business, known for its amazing biodiversity, was unable to bring the country out of poverty. The majority of the population continues to depend on farming for their livelihoods, making the economy particularly vulnerable to weather calamities. Madagascar has endured political instability, violent coups, and disputed elections since becoming independent from France in 1960. It grew at great speed, but was affected by COVID-19, according to the World Bank, which caused a sharp recession and was particularly hit by the tourism and manufacturing population. It has a GDP value of $401 per capita. Number 5. Mozambique. On number 5 we have Mozambique, one of the poorest countries on the continent, is seeking to accelerate its economic growth despite its vast resources with natural gas and coal deposits found in the country in the last year. The greatest GDP reported per capita, and the newest is $382. It has 31 per million people living below the poverty level with 41%. Number 4. The Central African Republic, one of the poorest countries. The Central African Republic has had many internal conflicts. It ranks 4th in the list of poorest countries in Africa in 2021. Its per capita GDP stood at $382. 3/4 of the population lives on less than $1.90 a day. The country is recognized for its diamond commerce. However, it has little financial significance in the Central African Republic for that diamond trade. This scenario is considered entirely political. Number 3. Niger. Niger is in danger of drought and climate change, with 80% of its landlocked area covered by the Sahara Desert and a rapidly rising population mostly dependent on small-scale agriculture. Only 2% of the land is agricultural. Food insecurity is significant, as are the rates of disease and death, and the military's recurrent conflicts with the Boko Haram terrorist group and ISS offshoot have uprooted thousands of people. Its per capita GDP is $363. According to estimates from the World Bank, the country's poverty rate is 41%, which brings Niger at number 3 in our list. One of the economic drivers, the mining of precious natural resources like gold and uranium, was likewise subject to volatility and low commodity prices. Number 2. Malawi. Malawi is the second poorest country in Africa as of 2021. In recent years, Malawi, one of Africa's smallest states, has taken steps to improve economic growth and undertake key structural reforms. However, poverty remains prevalent, and the country's predominantly rain-fed crops economy is exposed to weather-related shocks. As a consequence, while living standards in urban areas are rising widely, food insecurity is highly prevalent in rural areas. It has a population of 15 million people, out of which 53% is living in poverty. Its GDP per capita income was reported at $300. 1. Burundi. Burundi is top on the list of the poorest countries in Africa. In Burundi, with a population of 11.5 million, the annual per capita income is $285. In Burundi, the world's poorest country, people work for less than $1 a day. With 1 in 3 Burundians in urgent need of humanitarian aid, the poverty rate is 65%. Burundi is a considerably more agricultural country. Agricultural land is 41% of all land. Most farms can meet the requirements for grain. The main source of money is coffee, especially Arab coffee. Cultivated livestock are used in agriculture. It is merely a portion of the national income. That's all about top 14 poorest countries in Africa in 2021. Let us know what you think about living in these countries in the comment section below. I hope that you find this video informative. Do like and subscribe, and don't forget to give comments and provide us with your valuable feedback. See you in the next video with some more interesting facts and stories, and until then, stay tuned to Hard Rock Media.